Michael, when you wrote the book Moneyball in 2003, did you ever imagine then that the book could become a Hollywood movie? I mean, when you think of the fact that really it's primarily about statistical analysis and theories.
Right. So I wrote another book, The Blind Side, that I did imagine was a Hollywood movie, and that made total sense to me. With this book, it made no sense whatsoever. I thought, and it was mainly because there was such an intellectual component to it. It was a book about an idea, personified by these people, but nevertheless, it was a book about an idea. And I didn't know how they were going to do it. And if they'd asked me how to do it, I would have told them, you're nuts. And I did tell them you're nuts after they paid the money for it.
Of course.
So I'm kind of amazed by what's happened, because once they were determined they were going to make it, and they were really determined to make it, I thought, well, it may be bad. That's what's going to happen here. And I can't believe how good it is. That's the thing that surprises me. I thought maybe a bad movie, but they made a really good movie. And that's a tribute to the people who did it, and not so much a tribute to the book, because they basically had to break it and remake it.
You spent a lot of time with Billy Beane, obviously. What do you think of Brad Pitt's portrayal of him in the movie?
Eerie. I felt this way about Sandra Bullock and Leanne Toohey in The Blind Side. I felt like they captured an awful lot of the human being. And there were times, if you told me that Brad Pitt could look like Billy Beane, just because through his mannerisms and the lighting kind of thing, I thought, no way. I didn't see the fit so much. But he completely pulled it off. And in particular, it was very important about Billy Beane as a character. There was always a sense that he was imposing reason with violence, that he couldn't explain why what he was doing made so much sense, because nobody wanted to hear it. So he just said, do it or I'm going to beat you up, basically. And he gets that across. So it's an amazing performance.
In Toronto, of course, we had J.P. Ricciardi come into the Blue Jays.
Right.
The whole Moneyball theory, I mean, are you almost surprised more teams haven't tried it? Or what would you say to that?
They have tried it. That's the thing. Since the book has come out, the sport's now been overrun with young men with statistical and economics backgrounds who never played. And there's a new breed of general manager who's running teams, in a lot of the teams. There are a few teams that have seemingly sort of self-consciously resisted the statistics revolution, but not many. And so I think the problem now is that, and the problem for the Blue Jays, is they got there a little late. There was an opportunity for a team to exploit the idiocy of others, or the ignorance of others, briefly. They did it. Word got out what they were doing. Now everybody knows it. You can't exploit it anymore. It's just the market's more efficient.
Certainly you've seen the movie, the backlash against Billy, even within the A's organization, let alone baseball traditionalists in general, was huge. Do you think for him, was there any moments where he was doubting, am I doing the right thing? Or his conviction, when you talk about his personality, was, I'm going to see this through and make it work?
He's really stubborn. He's unbelievably stubborn. And so when cornered, most people, when cornered the way he was cornered in a lot of ways, especially after the book came out, he got an awful lot of grief. A lot of people hedge and waver and sort of try to placate the opposition. That's not his nature. His nature is to fight. He's a fighter. And so when you come at him the way baseball came at him, you just embolden him. So I think if he'd been left alone in a dark room with nobody saying anything about what he was doing, he might have doubted. But because everybody was assaulting him, he didn't have time to doubt. He was busy fighting. I think that's kind of how it worked.